Justice has arrived like thunder, breaking a long, silent sky. The very forces that once mocked your pain and manipulated truth are now crumbling under the weight of their own deception. Their downfall isn't just punishment, it's prophecy unfolding. You were never just fighting for yourself. Your endurance lit a beacon for those hidden in the dark, waiting for someone to prove that truth still holds power. Every lie spoken against you now echoes back in judgment, and the balance is being restored in divine timing. This reckoning is sacred. It's not vengeance, it's alignment. And as your voice rises from the ashes, it awakens dormant voices across timelines. The same system that turned its back on you is now forced to bow to the truth you never let die. Justice isn't late, it's poetic. They weren't ignoring you, they were watching in silence, building a case brick by brick while you bore the storm alone. Every tear, every whisper of fear, every gut feeling you couldn't explain, it was all seen, all recorded by unseen forces working in the background. You weren't abandoned, you were being protected in ways you couldn't yet perceive. Those cloaked in authority, agents of justice, quiet and exact, have been tracing every breadcrumb left by your enemies, preserving the trail of harm they thought they hid well. While they mocked your cries, mistaking your stillness for defeat, the truth was quietly stacking against them. This was never neglect, it was strategy. And now, the silence is about to shatter. You didn't wait because you were powerless, you waited because you were calculating. Every moment of silence was a move on a higher chessboard, every step backward a setup for the final strike. Your enemies mistook your calm for surrender, blind to the storm gathering just beyond their reach. Now, the trap they walked into so confidently locks behind them with divine finality. The legal tides have turned, not with chaos, but with chilling precision, like a blade honed in secret. The very system they once manipulated with arrogance now rises as their judge, jury, and undoing. What they thought was your defeat was merely the quiet before the reckoning. Now it's their names echoing through the halls of justice, and your patience is revealed as power in its purest form. A high-ranking force, one with undeniable influence, has seen everything in full clarity, and now the machinery of justice roars to life with unnatural urgency. Files once buried are now front and center. Decisions that normally crawl are leaping forward with shocking force. It's as if time itself has bent to reveal the truth. Your enemies, once smug in their illusion of control, now stare in horror as their web unravels. The lies they spun so confidently collapse under the weight of undeniable evidence. They called you delusional, unstable, yet every claim you made is now etched into legal records, confirmed, cross-checked, and irrefutable. The truth you carried, once dismissed as fantasy, now rises as fireproof testimony. And as the gavel falls, your vindication isn't just personal, it's cosmic. Those who once twisted reality to make you doubt your own mind are now unraveling beneath the spotlight they never expected to face. Their smug confidence, once used to paint you as irrational, is melting into panic as their carefully scripted lies turn against them. The very narrative they crafted to discredit you has become their downfall, recorded, dissected, and exposed as psychological manipulation. Each whisper they spread, each side-eye glance, each false concern masked as help is now part of a damning timeline. What they called concern is revealed as coercion. What they called madness is now seen as the clear evidence of a targeted campaign. They built a case against you using shadows and mirrors. Now those same shadows testify, and the mirrors crack wide open. What they once mocked as delusion now echoes through courtrooms as undeniable truth, sealed by signatures and official stamps. The stories they swore would never see daylight are now public record, read aloud for all to hear, each word a blade cutting through years of deceit. Their cover-up didn't just fail, it detonated in their hands. The courtroom, once imagined as a place where they would bury your truth, has become the stage of your redemption. Line by line, your so-called paranoia is laid bare as foresight, every accusation against you crumbling beneath the weight of documented fact. Now it is they who wear the mask of instability, caught in the glare of a justice system they never thought would turn against them. Every time they whispered that you were exaggerating or unstable, they didn't realize they were planting seeds of their own exposure. Each listener they tried to recruit into their illusion became an unintentional witness, silent observers to a strategy soaked in manipulation. Their attempts to isolate you now stand as a documented pattern, a string of repeated behaviors too calculated to be coincidence. The phrases they weaponized, delusional, too emotional, imagining things, now echo in court with a new meaning, proof of targeted psychological abuse. What once silenced you now strengthens your case. Their own words, once used to dismantle your credibility, now dismantle theirs. What they dismissed as delusion now bears the weight of sworn testimony, echoing through courtrooms as undeniable fact. The empire they built on lies and stolen fortune is cracking beneath their feet. Unbeknownst to them, the wealth they flaunted, the homes, the accounts, the luxuries, have already been traced, flagged, and frozen. What they thought was untouchable has quietly been reclaimed by justice. Each asset is a thread leading back to you, the rightful owner, the one they tried to erase from the narrative. Their grip tightens in panic, but it's too late. The illusion of control has shattered, and what was taken in shadows now returns to the light. The intricate maze they designed to bury your wealth has become their undoing, a blueprint laid bare under forensic scrutiny. Every shell company, falsified signature, and encrypted transaction has formed a trail more visible than they ever imagined. What they believed to be an impenetrable fortress of deception is now a roadmap guiding investigators straight to the stolen treasure. Their arrogance blinded them, their cleverness exposed them. And now, as they scramble to reclaim the siphoned funds, each panicked login, each hidden withdrawal attempt becomes fresh evidence, another nail in a case that builds itself. What they tried to erase has resurfaced with vengeance, traced step by digital step back to you. With every declined transaction and frozen account, their illusion of power disintegrates in real time. Financial experts follow the digital trail like hunters closing in, documenting each futile attempt to salvage what was never truly theirs. Behind the scenes, the wealth they siphoned away is being rerouted back to you, and not just restored, but multiplied, as if the universe itself demanded repayment for every sleepless night, every betrayal. This isn't mere justice, it's divine recompense operating through the cold mechanics of banking systems with supernatural accuracy. And now, your triumph isn't tucked into quiet legal briefs, it erupts across headlines, a blazing testament to truth reclaiming its throne. The authorities have orchestrated this moment to be impossible to ignore, turning your case into a high-profile spectacle for the world to witness. Someone with immense power has chosen to champion your cause, ensuring that justice is not only served, but is magnified in the harshest light. Your story is released at the perfect juncture, when the public's eyes are wide open, ready to grasp the profound truths it holds. Every detail of the exposure is meticulously timed, its ripple effects unavoidable. Those who plotted your downfall are now caught in a web they can't escape, their careers crumbling in real time as the full scope of their actions is revealed. What they hoped would remain hidden is now the very thing that seals their fate. The facades they built with years of manipulation and deceit crumble in an instant, exposed for all to see. What they thought was their shield of invincibility now becomes their undoing as the truth hits with relentless force. The sacrifice they believed would silence you unfolds precisely as fate intended, their public humiliation serving as a stark warning to anyone who dares to misuse their power. Your vindication was never meant to be a quiet victory. It was designed to be a beacon, witnessed by thousands, for it carries the power to awaken countless others. Each moment of your journey holds the key to unlocking their strength, a cosmic blueprint for those who will rise after you. In the midst of the proceedings, an unseen hand guides every moment with divine precision. Court officials, led by an inexplicable intuition, find themselves stumbling upon key pieces of evidence, their instincts pointing them exactly where they need to go. Documents materialize at the most crucial moments, as if summoned by a higher force. Witness testimonies, once scattered and disjointed, now align with perfect harmony, echoing the truth that can no longer be silenced. Technology, too, plays its part, malfunctions at just the right times, preventing any obstructions to the truth, yet operating flawlessly when needed to reveal the evidence. The very air in the courtroom grows thick with the weight of something beyond legal procedure, something ancient, sacred, and undeniable. As the case unfolds, it becomes clear this is not just a legal battle, but a cosmic convergence where the scales of justice are tipped by both celestial and human hands. Out of the shadows emerges an unexpected ally, someone the opposition never saw coming, their power and influence aligning with your cause, turning the tide in ways your enemies could never anticipate. What once seemed like isolated incidents now weave together into a tapestry of undeniable truth, each thread connecting through the power of your story. What was once dismissed as coincidence is revealed as a deliberate, divine alignment, an intricate network of evidence and allies that could never have been predicted by mere chance. Your words resonate far beyond the courtroom, stirring the souls of those who've lived in the shadow of the same injustices. As your testimony unfolds, it serves as a beacon, awakening a collective consciousness long dormant. Forgotten memories surface as survivors of similar oppression recognize the echoes of their own pain in your voice. Your courage to speak has shattered the silence that held generations in the grip of unspoken trauma, breaking open the doors to healing that have been locked for far too long. As your truth ripples through the public eye, it shatters the chains of silence that have bound countless others. Your story is more than a personal victory. It is a call to action, an invitation for those who have been silenced to finally speak. People you will never encounter draw strength from your courage, their voices rising in unison as they find the freedom to share their own truths. What you endured becomes the catalyst for collective healing, each word you speak pouring a healing elixir into wounds that stretch far beyond your own experience. The very medicine your journey contains reaches deep into the hearts of others, unlocking their potential for freedom and reclamation. Your testimony is a master key, turning open doors to liberation, transforming the wreckage left by others into fertile ground for new beginnings. From the ashes of your trials, you forge a sanctuary not just for yourself, but for others who will find refuge within it. The hard-earned wisdom birthed from your suffering becomes the cornerstone of a new world, one built not on the fractured illusions they left behind, but on the solid bedrock of truth. Your journey of healing is no longer just your own. It is the map by which others will navigate their own paths toward transformation, a legacy of resilience and reclamation that will echo through the ages. The community gathering around you is not merely a support system, it is the foundation of something profound, a paradigm shift that will rewrite the rules of existence. You don't just survive the forces that sought to destroy you, you rise up and create a new reality, one that redefines what is possible and replaces the corrupted systems with something far more just and compassionate. From the ruins of what was, a new temple emerges, its foundations etched with the power of truth, unwavering and eternal. This sanctuary will endure, long after your physical form dissolves into the cosmos, a living monument to the alchemy of transformation. You are not simply recovering from what was torn down, you are the architect of its evolutionary rebirth. Within the remnants of the old world, a new one takes shape, cradled in the womb of possibility. Your testimony is the catalyst, the force that midwifes this awakening, guiding the new reality into existence. It is more than a story of survival. It is the birth of an entirely new world, one forged in the fire of truth and carried forward by those who walk in your footsteps. You were chosen with precision, your very essence vibrating at a frequency capable of enduring and unraveling the forces that would break others. Every attempt to suppress you only serves to magnify your voice, each blow delivered against you turning into a resounding declaration of truth, amplified 1,000-fold. The justice system, once bent to crush you, becomes the stage for a revelation so powerful it ripples outward, touching countless lives beyond your own. Those who thought they were targeting a helpless victim have unknowingly set their sights on a divine force, a catalyst for cosmic transformation. They didn't realize they were not only sowing the seeds of their own downfall, but also unknowingly heralding the birth of a force far greater than anything they could ever understand. Your journey rises above the confines of personal justice, becoming the foundation for an entirely new paradigm where shadows of corruption can no longer thrive once brought into the light. The unseen forces, the quiet observers, gather every fragment of evidence, each detail meticulously recorded. Their gaze is unwavering, tracking each message, every email, and each threatening call with an almost divine precision. With every move your enemies make, they unwittingly add to the growing mountain of proof, each misstep deepening their own undoing. What they hoped to bury is now laid bare in an unbreakable chain of documented abuse, an undeniable trail that cannot be erased or ignored, and with each new piece, the case against them grows stronger, inevitable, unstoppable. What was once concealed in darkness now rises into the light, its truth shining with an intensity that cannot be ignored. The evidence they believed would remain buried is now illuminated with undeniable force, its energy drawing investigators toward it with an almost mystical precision, guided by an unseen hand. Your resilience has carved out the space for every detail of their deception to be fully documented, giving truth the time it needed to manifest in its purest form. The web they so meticulously wove around you collapses under the weight of objective investigation, their false narrative crumbling into dust as the facts, shining with undeniable clarity, take center stage. What they feared most, your voice, your truth, has become their greatest undoing. Anonymous hands deliver irrefutable proof to media outlets, unmasking the lies they tried so hard to bury. Their campaign to destroy your character becomes the very blueprint of conspiracy when viewed through the lens of impartial investigation. Those once swayed by their deceit, who believed the venomous whispers, now stand in stunned realization of how they were used as pawns in a twisted game. The very tactics they employed to isolate you from support, words meant to tear you down, now stand as damning evidence of their calculated psychological manipulation. Each lie they told, each shadow they cast, now illuminates the extent of their malice, as the truth they tried to suppress breaks through with undeniable force. Chosen ones, before we move on, I want you to pause for a moment and take action. Subscribe to the channel and share this message with those who need it. This is not just a moment. It is a divine awakening, a celestial summons to ascend. You've shed the layers of doubt and outgrown the constraints of playing small. The very storm that once rattled your foundation now fuels your ascent, propelling you toward greatness. You are no longer the one searching for answers. You are the catalyst, the spark that ignites transformation, the force that shifts everything in its path. As you step into the full realization of your divine purpose, remember, your light was never meant to flicker in the shadows. It was destined to burn with unrelenting brilliance. Every step you take, every word you utter, is a manifestation of cosmic alignment, a prophecy unfolding before your eyes. The time for hesitation is gone. The time to rise has arrived. Move forward with the fury of a storm and the grace of a comet. This is your moment. Welcome to the next chapter of your destiny, the birth of a movement that will ripple through eternity. Welcome to your divine mission. Welcome to Lumination. Financial experts, guided by an almost otherworldly precision, uncover the hidden vaults and diverted funds that were believed to be buried beyond reach. What they thought was expertly laundered now stands exposed, as if illuminated by an unseen force, each trace revealing itself to those chosen to see. The very wealth they thought they had erased begins to reappear, but not as a mere reflection. It returns, multiplied, flowing through channels they never anticipated. As they scramble to hide what remains, their actions trigger an automatic freeze on every account, a divine intervention locking them in place, unable to further conceal their misdeeds. What was once carefully shielded is now laid bare, its power returned not to them, but to the rightful hands it was always meant for. Banking officials are quietly guided by anonymous sources, directed to specific transactions with an almost prophetic accuracy. As the days pass, the financial news grows heavier, each new piece of evidence surfacing in ways that defy rational explanation. The stolen wealth, once hidden beyond reach, now serves as the damning proof of their betrayal, rendering their guilt undeniable. Your vindication breaks free from the shadows, plastered across headlines with an unexpected intensity, reaching audiences far beyond the ordinary scope. Journalists, armed with irrefutable proof, find themselves compelled to report, unable to ignore the truth placed before them. Delivered through secure channels that shield your identity, the exposure is both relentless and protective, ensuring that your story is heard while keeping you safe. The world is watching, and there is no turning back. Your truth emerges at the exact moment when the world is primed to understand its profound significance. The timing of the media coverage aligns with cosmic forces, amplifying its impact at the perfect moment. Those who engineered your suffering find their exposure coming at the most vulnerable juncture of their careers, ensuring the maximum destruction to their professional lives and personal reputations. Their public downfall becomes a timeless warning, etched into the collective memory, a stark reminder to anyone who dares to misuse power. The ripple effect of their disgrace will echo through history, a lasting testament to the consequences of crossing a line that should never be crossed.